What's up, y'all? Winnie here, and welcome back to Well, it's not. Well, now it's just the SP Wiki. Um, this video was supposed to happen a while ago. I lost track of time for various reasons. But today we're going to be reading about the Multiverse Strip Club, which, when I looked at my folders, all I saw was multi-strip and thought it was Mobius strip, so... it says it's safe! Special containment procedures. A 3-meter tall chain-link privacy fence is to be constructed around the property boundary of SCP-1472. Construction signage is to be placed on all sides of the perimeter fence as to deter public suspicion. Mobile Task Force Iota-6, aka Hard Knocks, are tasked with protecting the site from trespassers and are to be stationed within a 4-block quadrant around 1472 at all times, dressed in applicable urban attire. Any civilians that breach the fence are to be apprehended and administered Class A amnestics before being released. Any testing involving disposable dudes must have Level 3 approval. All disposable dudes involved with testing are to be interrogated via polygraph afterwards. Description: SCP-1472 is a brightly painted single-story brick building located in East St. Louis, Illinois, USA, on the corner of Something Street and Something Avenue. The exterior condition of the building is poor, but remains stable. City records indicate that the building was erected in 1978 by the now defunct Something Corporation. It has been condemned since 2001 when the anomalous activity began. 1472 only has one accessible entrance on the west side of the building. When entered during its inactive state, it appears completely empty. SCP-1472 only becomes active every Saturday at 2 a.m. During this active state, an overweight human male, 1, will exit from 1472 and display signage out in front of the entrance. One display is set directly on the asphalt in front of the entrance, which lists a schedule of events. Another larger display is placed directly on the side of the building and lit with decorative neon lighting. Level 2 access required. Signage: Exotic Girls! Or equivalent. During the active period, 1 will insist that all persons seeking admittance pay a cover charge of something dollars, probably 50, maybe 20, and not engage in photography or video recording once inside. Shows will differ nightly, however the performance always ranges from 2 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. During the duration of the performances, the entrance/exit will remain locked until the last show ends. Injuries and fatalities have occurred depending on the content of the show. Participants have been observed to sustain psychological trauma. Level 3 access required. Okay. So let's see. Test log 1472-011213-4. Preamble. 3 disposable dudes were approved for testing on January the 12th, 2013. The test subjects were transported to the site and told to wait in front of the entrance of 1472. They were told they must take notes and report everything they see inside. Below was a schedule of events as posted outside of 1472 before testing. Admittance: the Kuhnbisch sisters, Helen Keller, the Fantastic Zippy and Trainer, Teeth and Claw Marks, Intermission, erotic_performance.exe, the Council of Libidinous Elders, serial number 223244-9-P, Indecipherable Cuneiform Script, D-Class ID 3432, 6744, and 9908. At 1:50, they were dropped off by transport and were told to approach the entrance. They were each given $100 and $5 bills. The test subjects are also encouraged to spend their money once inside. At 1:55, 1 emerged with the signage. 1 began to set up around the entrance. The test subjects and 1 did not interact with each other. At 2 a.m., 1 allowed admittance into 1472. 1 asked from each of them the amount of money as cover charge, probably $20. They obliged and paid said cover charge in exchange for admission. At 2:03, they were all inside. They reported that the interior conditions were excellent. The interior was outfitted with shag carpeting, mirrored walls, a single disco ball which hung from the ceiling, a thick fabric curtain that covered most of the stage, and a single brass pole which extended from the ceiling down into the middle of the room. Comfortable seating arrangements were made available for a maximum occupancy of 30. From 2:10 to 2:15, the Kuhnbisch sisters. The curtain opened to reveal 2 naked women sitting on a wooden log. They appeared to be twins of Asian descent. Both women then performed traditional Tuvan throat singing while massaging each other for the duration of the show. The disposable dudes deposited $10 on stage, which prompted the women to pause and begin a faster song. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. From 2:15 to 2:20 is Helen Keller. The curtain opened to reveal a woman with the same physical appearance as Helen Keller in her mid-20s. The woman was dressed in typical Las Vegas showgirl attire and began to perform a dance routine on stage while undressing at the same time. All three disposable dudes each deposited $10 on stage. This prompted the woman to immediately interrupt her routine to recite poetry for a few seconds. 6744 deposited another $5 on stage with the same results. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. 220 to 230 was the Fantastic Zippy and Trainer. The curtain opened, read the lines wrong, to reveal an orangutan sitting on a metal stool next to a headless nude woman with advanced necrotizing fasciitis. Despite being headless, the woman was able to function normally. The orangutan then began to give vocal commands directed at the woman, to which she responded by performing a pole dancing routine. 3432 deposited $5 on the floor next to the woman. The woman responded by pushing the $5 bill directly into her exposed trachea. The orangutan then ordered the woman back to the stage. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. 230 to 235 Teeth and Claw Marks. The curtain opened to reveal 4 predatory bipedal reptiles. Based on the disposable dude's subject descriptions, the reptiles may have belonged to the genus Velociraptor. Each was dressed in a Japanese-made cosplay costume tailored to fit them. The reptiles began to approach 9908 off stage in an extremely aggressive manner. He relinquished all of his money, which seemed to appease the reptiles as they collected the money and shifted attention towards 3432, who also relinquished all his money with the same results. Afterwards, all 4 were ordered back on stage by one, and the curtain then closed. 6744 divided the remainder of his money with the other test subjects. Intermission, nothing happened. For 1 minute, eroticperformance.exe. The curtain opened to reveal a Gateway 2000 computer and monitor running a Fenestra 98 operating system. The display booted up and opened a program on its desktop. The computer then began to rapidly recite a multitude of different differential equations as well as their respective 3D graphical representations for 20 seconds. At the end of the program, the monitor displayed the word insert in the form of a screensaver. 6744 and 3432 both inserted $5 to his floppy drive. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. For 4 minutes after that, the Council of Libidinous Elders. The curtain opened to reveal 16 entities levitating above the stage. Each entity appeared as a translucent gelatinous mass filled with membranous tissues. The entities then began to project transmissions via telepathy into the minds of the disposable dudes. They reported migraines, acute tinnitus, and projected thoughts of intense physical sensation. No money was deposited onto the stage. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. From 245 to 320, serial number 244-9-P, the curtain opened to reveal a pair of mechanical humanoid legs running in place. The apparatus was being powered by an internal combustion generator situated on the left side of the stage. One was seen pouring a substance into the generator by funnel. Based on the disposable dude's descriptions of appearance and odor, this substance is believed to possibly be raw ambergris. After 15 minutes, 9908 deposited $5 on the stage. The apparatus then began to perform a traditional Irish step dancing routine. One then brought out a plastic tray filled with an unknown species of beetle and placed the apparatus atop them. The apparatus continued to dance for the duration of the show, while one periodically replaced the trays with refilled ones. The aroma produced by the performance was reported to be overly pungent to the point of nausea. The curtain then closed at the end of the show. From 320 to 330, Indecipherable Cuneiform Script. The curtain opened to reveal SCP-1093, wearing a small mawashi and holding an ornate stone blade. After a minute, 1093 lunged at 3432. After a brief altercation, 1093 was able to render him unconscious and move his body towards the stage. Based on reports by the other ones, 1093 then began to perform a ritual human sacrifice. 6744 attempted to rescue them, but was halted by one and was warned that he was not allowed to touch the dancers. 1093 then proceeded to remove all major organs from 3432 in the order of size before kicking them off stage. This lasted for the remainder of the show. Note, Foundation records confirmed that 1093 was secured in its containment unit during this time period, which suggests that this was a physically identical yet extremely violent instance of 1093. It is also believed that during the performance, 1093 was only producing roughly 4% of its normal radioactive emissions, since 6744 and 9908 survived with moderate radiation poisoning after the show ended. At 3:32 a.m., one was observed standing outside smoking a large cigar as the surviving disposable dude staggered out of 1472. 6744 and 9908 were apprehended and taken to the infirmary. One was then observed removing the signs and retreating back into 1472. 3432's remains were never recovered. I guess it's safe since if you don't go in, nothing happens, but I imagine somebody must go in. But I guess that's going to do it for this entry. I don't know what I expected from something called a multiversal strip club, but it was not any of that. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you want to click the bell, you can do that as well to be notified of future uploads, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.